Yeah, in this particular video, we are going to deal with this alicyclic hydrocarbons, and this has been pulled out from the degree first semester syllabus. That is chapter 6, and the whole chapter has been discussed on my YouTube channel, and the details of this has been given in the description box below. So you can go through it, and please do like, share, and subscribe my channel. So, and now let's discuss about this alicyclic hydrocarbons. So before going to this, let's see the classification of this organic compounds. Uh, because of the presence of this large number of its organic compounds, there is a necessity for these organic compounds to be classified based on their structure. So based on the structure, because of this large number, in order to identify them easily, they have been classified into the following classification can be seen here broadly. So the hydrocarbons can be broadly classified into open chain compounds or closed chain compounds. Open chain compounds again can be divided into two types, that is saturated or unsaturated. Saturated means there is no presence of double or triple bonds. It's that means the valency of the carbon is totally satisfied here, and the class of compounds which come under the saturated hydrocarbons are nothing but alkanes here. And if you come to the unsaturated compounds, we have alkenes and alkynes under this group of compounds. That is, presence of double bond is nothing but of alkenes, and presence of triple bond is nothing but alkynes. So these are unsaturated compounds because double or triple bonds are present in them, and they're being classified into alkenes or alkynes. Now, when we come to these closed chain compounds, they can be homocyclic, means the ring consists of only one type of atoms, or heterocyclic compounds, or the cyclic structure consists of different types of atoms other than the carbon and the hydrogen. So the homocyclic can be aromatic. That means the presence of the conjugation, that the double and the single bonds are in conjugation with each other. And the alicyclic means that ali means aliphatic. Aliphatic is nothing but they are not aromatic. They are not aromatic is nothing but aliphatic, and present in the cyclic form. So alicyclic hydrocarbons. So let's deal with this class of compounds in this particular video, their nomenclature and etc. So when we come to this alicyclic hydrocarbons, let's understand what are these alicyclic hydrocarbons. Ali means aliphatic, as already said. That means they are not aromatic. Cyclic means they are present in a ring structure. Hydrocarbons is nothing but the presence of these hydrogens and the carbons. The carbons are joined in a ring-like form by means of these forms, though they are aliphatic. Cyclic hydrocarbons are nothing but alicyclic hydrocarbons. They're also called as carbocyclic because only the carbons are present in the ring here. For example, when we took the cyclopropane, and homocyclic, this class of compounds comes under homocyclic, means again only one type of atoms are connected in a ring, so they are homocyclic compounds. And yeah, and comprised of only these carbons, so called as carbocyclic. And if we compare this chemistry, that is similar to that of these open chain counterparts. That means if you take this cyclopropane, the structure, I mean the properties of this is similar to that of this propane. The open chain counterpart of this is nothing but propane, and this is cyclopropane. And if these are connected in the ring form, this is nothing but cyclopropane, and the properties of most of these are similar to that of these open chain compounds, except for a few. And the general molecular formula of this is CnH2n. When we observe this, what is the general molecular formula of alkenes? It is also HCnH2n. So this general molecular formula of this is CnH2n, which is the same as that of alkanes, but the properties of this is similar to that of this open chain saturated hydrocarbons, that is alkanes. So the properties are of this is nothing but the saturated compounds, that is alkanes. And the first member of this is cyclopropane, which is nothing but C3H6. This one is C3H6. This is cyclopropane. This is cyclopropane. And they're also called as cycloalkanes. Alkanes are just connected in the ring form, the same alkanes, so they are called as cycloalkanes. And the alkanes are also called as paraffins, so also called as, these are also called as cycloparaffins. So alkanes or paraffins are also called as cycloalkanes or cycloparaffins. Let's see how to name this alicyclic hydrocarbons now. So the names of these alicyclic compounds, that is, this is alicyclic, not acyclic. This is alicyclic compounds are obtained by just adding the prefix cyclo. This is a cyclo to the name of this corresponding straight chain hydrocarbons. So the straight chain hydrocarbon of nothing but propane here. So the straight chain alkane is the propane. So we are just adding the prefix cyclo to this propane, that is open chain compound. We are adding the cyclo to the name of this open chain compound. So this is cyclopropane, and the open chain compound name of this particular is butane. So this is cyclobutane, and this is cyclopentane because of the presence of 5 carbon atoms attached in a ring. And this is cyclohexane, 6 atoms which are present in a ring, and the name of this open chain counterpart is hexane. So the name of this is cyclohexane. Next, now let's see now this name, how this is represented. So the cyclopropane, now instead of writing CH2, CH2, CH2 here, we can just use this line angular formula for representing this by just writing in the form of lines here. So for cyclopropane, we just use a triangle here. There's a simple geometrical figures we can use here. Cyclopropane for this 3-membered ring, or cyclobutane is nothing but a square. So a square for this cyclobutane, and for this cyclopentane we can use pentagon. This is not given here, so I'll use pentagon here. So this is a pentagon for cyclopentane, and hexagon for cyclohexane, and so on. Heptagon for cycloheptane, and so on. Yeah. And when there is a substituent which is present on this ring, how to name that? So just add the name of the substituent as a prefix to this name of this cyclic structure. So now this is an alkyl group, particularly the methyl group. So how to name this? This is actually the cyclopentane, right? This is cyclopentane. There's a substituent which is present on the cyclopentane, that is methyl. Just name it as methyl cyclopentane. Only one substituent is present. It's very easy. So no need of any confusion here. Just name it as methyl cyclopentane. Now this is cyclohexane, right? The hexane is present in the form of a circular, or closed chain structure, that is cyclic structure. This is cyclohexane, and the ethyl group which is present on it, just name it, just add ethyl as a prefix to this cyclohexane. So this is ethyl cyclohexane. And there is a chloro group which is present. This is a substituent which is present on this cyclopropane. This is chlorocyclopropane, and it is cyclopentane. There is a bromo group, so bromocyclopentane. That's it. Now the confusion arises when there is two substituents which is present on this ring. So if there are two substituents which is present on the ring, just follow the lowest sum rule. What does this lowest sum rule says is, when two or more substituents are present, then the numbering is done in such a way that if we add the numbers of the substituent, then you should get the lowest sum. In such a way that the sum of these positional numbers, that is a locant of the substituents, is the lowest. Let's see an example of this. So if you are numbering the methyl groups on this present on the cyclohexane on this, so let's number in two ways: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's number in this way now. That is clockwise, and we are numbering anti-clockwise here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we are numbering like this, that is anti-clockwise, that is the sum of this numbers where the substituent is present is 1 plus 6, 7. Here we are getting 1 plus 2, 3. So which is the lowest? This is the lowest. So we should number in such a way that the substituent get the lowest number. So there's a correct way of numbering where the substituent are getting the lowest number. So this is nothing but 1,2-dimethyl. This is cyclopentane and cyclohexane. Sorry, 1, 2, the sixth number, right? This is wrong here. So this is cyclohexane here. This is cyclohexane. So for cyclohexane, we are just adding the names of the substituent, that is dimethyl. And since they are present at 1 and 2 positions on the ring, this is nothing but 1,2-dimethyl cyclopentane. That's it. And yeah, the one more example for this, if you take, where is the lowest number now? If your numbering is done in such a way that if you are numbering like this in an anti-clockwise manner here, so like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here it is starting from chloro. We are numbering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here, if we see that some of these locants here, 1 plus 2 plus 6, that is 9. Here 1 plus 2 plus 3, this is 6. Since this is the lowest, this is the correct way of numbering the substituents here. So satisfy the lowest sum rule. So this is a correct way of numbering, and this is violating the lowest sum rule. So nothing but 2 bromo, 1 chloro, and 3 methyl cyclohexane. And the alphabetical order is followed by naming this. Nothing but 2 bromo, because B in the alphabetical order is the lowest. Then comes C, then comes M. So the so it's done in such a way that the rate is written in such a way that it follows the alphabetical order. This is nothing but 2 bromo, 1 chloro, 3 methyl cyclohexane. Yeah, the same thing what I've told you just now. Just follow the alphabetical order. If there are more than one substituent which is present in them, the numbering is done in such a way that it follows the alphabetical order, provided it satisfies the lowest sum rule. If doesn't follow the lowest sum rule, then see that it follows the lowest sum rule and follow the alphabetical order while writing. So this is nothing but 1 ethyl, 2 methyl cyclohexane. This is a 6-membered ring, cyclohexane. Write the substituent as a prefixes here. 1 ethyl, 2 methyl, and follow the alphabetical order. 1 ethyl and 2 methyl cyclohexane. Yeah, there are a few more examples here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Say 1 ethyl, 2 methyl cyclobutane. And this is 1 chloro, 2 methyl. C comes first in the alphabetical order. So 1 chloro, 2 methyl cyclohexane. And when we come to this, see 2 ethyl, 1 methyl. See, even if ethyl comes first in the alphabetical order, if we start numbering from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, it violates the lowest sum rule. So if we should follow the lowest sum rule, then name them. So 2 ethyl, because E comes first, 1 methyl, and 4 isopropyl cyclohexane. Now, this is, yeah, this should be like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So this is nothing but 1,1-diethyl, 4 isopropyl cyclohexane. Yes. If cycloalkanes, there is a double bond which is present in the ring. Yes, this is done. Yeah, there is a double bond which is present in the ring. We should number in such a way that the double bond gets a first preference here. Yes. Yes, let's see these examples first, then go to that slide. So this is nothing but cyclohexane. We know this already, right? Hexene, because double bond is present. And if there is a substituent which is present on this double bonded cyclic structure, then the numbering in such a way is done in such a way that the double bond gets the first preference. So 1, 2, 3, which is nothing but 3-methyl cyclopentane. So no need of mentioning that one in here, because we already know that it is present in one position. So if it is one position, there's no need of mentioning it. So this is 3-methyl cyclopentane. And if two double bonds are present here, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4 cyclohexadiene. Diene because two double bonds are present in this. So let's go back to the slide now. Let's see these examples now. Yeah, same thing, 1, 2, and 3. This is 3-methyl cyclopentane and not 5-methyl. If the numbering is done like this here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets 5-methyl, it violates the lowest sum rule. So numbering is done like this here. In an anti-clockwise manner here. So it is 3-methyl cyclopentane. And here there are two substituents which are present, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-ethyl because alphabetical order is followed. 1-methyl cyclohexene. Hexene here. No need of mentioning 1-ene because we already know that it is present at one position. Now here it is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Numbering is done like this because it follows the lowest sum rule. 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentane. There is no cyclo here, right? Cyclopentane. 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentane. Yes. This is discussed here. And if the functional group is present on the ring, then that gets the first position. Here OH group is present, that is alcohol, then this gets a first preference here. So the numbering is done in such a way that this functional group gets the first number and the double bond gets the next preference here. So 1, 2, 3. So this is all. This is no need of no need of mentioning the preference here, because if there is not mentioned the position here, it means that it is present at position 1. This is 2-cyclohexenol. Ene is present at the second position. This 2 is for ene here. So ene is present at second position here. This is nothing but cyclohexane, but double bond is present. So it's hexene. At which position this double bond is present? 2. So this is 2-cyclohexenol, all because alcohol at one position. This is nothing but cyclohexane 1,2-diol. So this 1 and 2 diol because 2 all groups. Now this is nothing but, so the numbering is, this is wrong here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is right because the functional group get the first preference and the double bond gets the second preference, and then comes this substituents. Just for how to number this, I'll show you this numbering. What is a priority now? When the double bond, the functional group and the substituents are present, means the functional group get the first preference, then the multiple bond, double or the triple bond, and then the substituents. So for example, the same example have taken this here. So this functional group is getting the position 1 and this double bond 2 and 3, and then comes the functional group. So the numbering is done in this way. This is correct and not in this way because the double bond is present here. It should get the preference over the substituents. So this is nothing but 5,6-dimethyl cyclohexene hex-2-enol or 2-hexenol also we can write here, which is nothing but 5,6-dimethyl 2-hexenol. No, if you don't mention that one position also, it's okay. If you mention this also, it's okay. So this is nothing but hex-2-enol or 2-hexenol. Now when we come to this 1, 2, 3, 3-chlorohexene, cyclohexane or cyclohex-1e. Yes, and when this cyclic part is attached to this acyclic part, then how this numbering is done? So when the cyclic part is attached to this acyclic part, and when this cyclic part is containing the lowest number of substituent when compared to that of this acyclic part, this is 3-membered ring and this is 7-membered chain. So this ring is considered as a substituent now because it is having lowest number of these carbon atoms. So there's nothing but 4-cyclopropyl, because this is a cyclopropyl group which is present at 4th position, 4-cyclopropyl 3-methylheptane. When we come to this, again, there's a substituent, there's an important functional group which is present here. That is a triple bond. Then also that will get the, this cyclic ring is considered as a substituent. When a cyclic part is containing the important functional group, the same method is applied. That is, the cyclic part is considered as a substituent. This is 4-cyclopropyl hept-1-ine. Pent-1-ine. So 4-cyclopropyl pent-1-ine, because 5-membered chain is present here. And when 2 rings are present in a system, then how it is named? So it is named in such a way that the smaller ring will be a substituent here. So the smaller ring is considered as a substituent. So this is nothing but cyclopropyl pentane. Now here this 5-membered ring and this is 6-membered ring. So this 5-membered ring is considered as a substituent here. So cyclopentyl cyclohexane. So this is cyclopropyl cyclopentane. Cyclopentane.